By a show of hands, how many of you guys have friends? That's a really good answer. For those of you who did not raise your hands, see me after the event. We have a lot to discuss. My name is Vera Puri. I'm a 7th grader at Oak Hill Middle School in Milledgeville, Georgia. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking to all of you about my topic, friendship in the digital age. G. Randolph once said that truly great friends are hard to find, difficult to leave, and impossible to forget. For those of you who raised your hands earlier, take a moment to think about your own friends. Do they bring a smile to your face? Do they have a special place in your heart? I know mine do. My friends have always meant the world to me and have been an integral part of my development as a person. This is a picture of me and my best friend. Her name is Addison. We have been friends for an extremely long time. And it's odd because we are polar opposites in almost every way possible, but we're still best friends. Now, I know this is relative because I'm only 12 years old, but as you can see, we have been friends for a long, long, long time. So you see, my friends are my ride or die, and have been for an incredibly long time. It was, and still is, impossible to imagine life without them. Until, The COVID-19 pandemic was a sentinel event which changed our world almost overnight. Now, instead of watching our typical TV shows, we were watching debates over masks, social distancing, and vaccines. In an effort to try and save lives and mitigate the spread of the virus, in March of 2020, my busy classroom went from this, which you see here, to this, and then finally to this. For the first time that I can remember, my friends and I were separated by something more than summer break. We found ourselves unable to meet face-to-face at all. Our communication was now through text, FaceTime, Zoom, and phone calls. It was, for lack of a better term, weird. And what do I mean by weird? For starters, you could see the person in front of you, and you could hear their voice, but the interaction just seemed to hit different when it was over a screen. We were missing something I like to call the X factor. The X factor is what I call the difference between seeing someone in real life and seeing them over a screen. Even though they may have the same face, voice, and expressions, interactions just feel different over a screen. Now, I would like to tell you that I've cracked the code on what this X factor is, but I haven't, and I'm not sure I ever will. But thinking about this X factor led me to think about online friendships and friendships in general during the digital age that we now live in. Before we dive deeper, I think it's important to define what a friend is. As defined by the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, a friend is an individual attached to another by affection or esteem. By extension, then, a friendship is the state of being friends. In more simple terms, a friend is someone who brings a smile to your face, someone who makes you feel safe in an unknown place, and overall, someone who gets you. Although our digital associations may seem similar, they are not all homogeneous. For example, there are online friendships, which are typically between 2 or more individuals who have met online and continue to meet online, but have never met in real life. An example of this would be 2 girls meeting on a gaming platform and becoming best friends despite living in different countries or on different continents. This is in contrast to virtual socialization, a term used to describe two or more individuals who have met in real life and are now interacting over a computer or device. This is similar to what happened to me when my school went from in-person to virtual learning. Now, if you felt relieved when it was time to transition back to the traditional in-person way of communicating, you most certainly were not alone. As a matter of fact, a study published by Lariviere and colleagues showed that children missed in-person schooling and felt more closed in during online schooling. In the words of a 10-year-old girl who participated in this study, "I never really loved school, but now I feel like I miss it a lot." It is not surprising that the authors of this study concluded that online interaction simply did not replace in-person interaction. That being said, online interactions did appear to have some benefits. According to a study from July of 2023, which observed 168 adolescents from ages 11 to 20, it was found that synchronous forms of communication like texting, gaming, and phone calls were associated with less loneliness and reduced depressive symptoms. In conclusion, the pandemic certainly taught me to value my friendships, both in person and digital. Although we have learned a lot about these digital friendships during COVID-19, there is still much, much more to unearth. Yet, two things are for certain. One, friendship in the digital age will never be the same. And two, our in-person interactions with others are not guaranteed. So as I close, I challenge each and every one of you today to reach out to your friends, both new and old, both in person and digital, and tell them how much they truly mean to you, because nobody knows what tomorrow holds. Thank you.